How's it going, everybody? Today, on this, our first episode, we'll be talking about one of the most iconic weapons in the Halo universe, the famously overpowered M6D Magnum from Halo Combat Evolved. So before we get into the functionality of the Magnum, let's first dive into its backstory. Not much is known about the development of the M6 series handguns. However, we do know that it was produced and presumably designed by Mizraya Armory. We also know that by this current point in the Halo timeline, the M6 series has been the standard issue sidearm for the UNSC for 142 years. The first of its kind, the M6A, was introduced in 2415 and quickly became a favorite amongst infantry in the UNSC, being noted for its reliability and quite comfortable for the user. As years went by, the M6 series pistols would see many variants and minor design changes. Following would be the M6B and C, as well as the M6C SOCOM. These were all very well received by the troops who used them. Some of these variants even saw action beyond the Human Covenant War. However, what was to follow would become famous for its sheer power and precision, the M6D. But what makes the M6D so powerful, and how does it stack up compared to our own modern weaponry? Would this weapon be nearly as practical as it is in-game? Well, to figure that out, we'll have to take a quick look into what makes this gun tick. So to understand why this pistol is so powerful, we need look no further than the kind of ammunition it fires. The M6 series in general fires a 12.7 by 40mm round, which is absolutely massive. To give some perspective, the Desert Eagle, one of the biggest handguns used today, fires a 50 Action Express, which in metric is a 12.7 by 33mm round. The shot column on this round is a whole 7mm shorter than the round actually used on the M6 series Magnums. However, it doesn't end there. In addition to this bullet's massive size, the M6D features a semi-armor piercing high explosive version of this round. This would be absolutely devastating for anyone on the receiving end of this bullet. The sheer size and power of this round alone would absolutely tear apart any organic tissue. Couple this with an armor piercing as well as an explosive modifier, and you got yourself a round that practically has no weaknesses. It's no wonder I was able to shoot down Banshees with just a freaking pistol. This variant of the M6 was also equipped with a smart-linked KFA 2x2 scope, giving extra magnification for those who had access to smart-linked heads-up displays, giving the user a maximum effective range of 122.7 meters, or for us Americans, 134.2 yards. For pistols in our modern era, this is absolutely unheard of. Most issued handguns have a maximum effective range of about 50 meters, so this kind of effectiveness would be absolutely devastating for opponents on the field to say the least. As far as reliability goes, the M6 series are all recoil operated. To simplify, this basically means the pistol uses the recoil from firing the bullet to compress the main slide spring. This in turn allows the next round to be pushed up using the mag, then after that the slide rebounds, thus chambering the round. This is a tried and true method of operation employed in most semi-automatic handguns since the early 20th century and sometimes even before. As far as the US Armed Forces go, every sidearm from the M1911 to the modern M17 and 18 handguns use this exact same system. So in that respect, humanity by the time of the M6's production had basically mastered this design and used it to its full potential, thus granting the M6D as well as the rest of its brothers and sisters fantastic reliability. So with all that said, this should be a pretty open and shut case, right? Of course, this is an absolutely amazing piece of weaponry and our modern military should absolutely look into developing an M6D, right? Well, not exactly. See, for the amazing specs the M6D boasts, it also has a lot of faults to go with it. First of which, ironically, is what makes this handgun so devastating. Its ammunition. As amazing and effective as the 12.7 by 40mm round is, it's also quite bulky and extremely expensive to produce. The UNSC works similar to the United States military in the way that they acquire their weapons and munitions. They both contract private companies to develop and produce such products for the military. This is obviously due for many different logistical and political reasons. However, that means the military can't just produce the munitions itself and get it all at cost. So just for reference, the 50 AE, which again was fired by the Desert Eagle, runs you about $1.30 in today's current market, per round. Compare that to a 9mm which runs you about 15 cents a round. So for a Desert Eagle, a 9-round standard capacity mag will run you about $11.70 on ammunition. That's ridiculous compared to the $225 price tag on a modern M17 magazine, which carries 6 more rounds. On top of that, the M6 series ammunition has a longer shot column and thus more powder. Couple that with the high explosive and armor piercing capabilities and you have yourself a round which is insanely expensive and absolutely impractical to give out as standard ammunition. The abilities of this round could also be seen as overkill. Now, for fighting an unknown alien race with advanced weaponry and much greater strength than us humans, this choice makes a lot more sense. However, up until 1985, the United States military standard issue sidearm was the M1911, which fired a 45 ACP. This ammunition was and still is praised for its knockdown power and ability to neutralize targets using far less ammunition than the standard modern 9mm. That said, the 45 ACP is about 1.5mm smaller than the 12.7 projectile. On top of that, the 45 ACP also uses about half the powder. Therefore, this much power as a standard issue sidearm round would be completely unnecessary to say the least. Another thing being the sheer size of the M6D. Specifically, the M6D was considered a Spartan variant and was scaled up 117% of the size of the previous M6 series pistols. This, coupled with the weight of having 12 50 caliber bullets stacked inside a bulky, wide frame, also makes using this weapon a logistical nightmare for someone who isn't well trained or can bear the weight of this firearm, thus rendering most non-augmented human as well as modern military usage impractical at best, or at worst, outright impossible. So in conclusion, as fantastic as the M6D is against alien races and vehicles, as a standard issue sidearm, it really just doesn't make much logistical sense for humanity as of right now. However, as mentioned before, previous M6s were much smaller and more comfortable to use, but would essentially fill the same role as our modern day Desert Eagle. So if you were hoping to see everybody's favorite handgun produced, fear not, because there is some practical use to be had with a smaller variant of this pistol. Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to just ask you guys what you guys think about this video format. Would you like me to change anything? Do you like this kind of video format? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. So either way, I got nothing else, so I will see you guys in the next one.